Imagine a vessel built for a kind of wealth most people will never even witness, let alone touch. Not the typical millionaire yacht with marble countertops. I'm talking about a creation engineered for the microscopic fraction of humanity that lives beyond limits. The world's top 1% of the 1%, the tier of people for whom the word expensive has stopped carrying meaning. This is a superyacht conceptual design for 2050. A vessel built on technology that doesn't exist on the market yet. A machine so advanced, it makes today's most extravagant yachts look normal. For this yacht, the price tag isn't the headline. The audacity is. The ambition. The idea that if you can imagine something, you can build it, because money isn't a barrier, it's a tool. This is the moment where luxury stops being decoration and becomes engineering. Picture this: a hull forged from a carbon titanium hybrid originally developed for aerospace. A propulsion system powered by a microreactor so efficient that the yacht could circle the planet without refueling. A navigation suite driven by predictive AI, not the kind that reacts to storms, but the kind that sees them forming weeks ahead and quietly plots the safest, smoothest path. Even the stabilizers aren't conventional. They're magnetically dampened, eliminating vibrations to the point where standing aboard feels like standing inside a mountain estate, not floating on open water. And that's before you've even stepped inside. Inside this vessel, gravity feels optional. Light bends, follows, and adjusts for your mood. Walls aren't static surfaces, but adaptive structures, shifting between privacy, transparency, and panoramic immersion at will. Every room is a separate world. Every deck a different era of design philosophy. This isn't interior design. It's spatial storytelling. A living environment that responds to the owner like a loyal organism. You don't enter this yacht, you merge with it. But let's be clear, this isn't a future meant for everyone. This is a yacht designed for the super elite. People who don't buy luxury, but curate it. People whose lives operate at a level where privacy becomes territory, where space becomes sovereignty, where a yacht is not a boat, but a personal country. This vessel isn't sold. It's commissioned. It doesn't have buyers. It has heirs. And as we break down this machine piece by piece, you'll see exactly why. Because what you're about to witness is what happens when a team of designers, engineers, and visionaries is told one simple thing. There is no budget. Make the impossible real. This is luxury engineered without compromise. This is the line between the present and the future. This is the superyacht designed only for the world's top 1%. Let's step outside and look at the physical form that carries this entire vision. Because the exterior of this yacht isn't just a shell, it's a declaration. The moment you see it approaching on open water, you understand instantly that this vessel wasn't shaped by the usual rules. It wasn't designed to blend in with fleets or follow nautical tradition. It was designed to redefine it. The foundation of that vision starts with the hull. Instead of traditional steel or aluminum, the structure uses a carbon titanium hybrid, a material originally explored for deep space vehicles and hypersonic aircraft. It's not just lighter than steel. It's stronger, more resilient, and capable of absorbing stress in ways older materials simply can't. This hull isn't about surviving decades. It's about mastering them. It cuts through water with a precision that makes the yacht feel almost detached from the ocean beneath it. And speaking of cutting through water, the yacht uses a wave-piercing bow, engineered not just for speed, but for stability. Most yachts rise and fall with waves, moving like living organisms. This one does the opposite. Its bow slices through the water, reducing drag, minimizing vertical motion, and keeping the deck experience unbelievably smooth, even in conditions where other vessels would start to complain. For a 2050 estate designed for long voyages, smoothness isn't a plus, it's a requirement. From a distance, the silhouette tells you everything. The shape language is a mix of aerodynamic efficiency and low-profile confidence. And it doesn't tower like a cruise ship. Instead, it stretches a long, uninterrupted body with lines that look sculpted rather than constructed. Every edge has purpose. Every curve is engineered. Nothing is ornamental. Even the curvature of the upper decks follows airflow patterns to reduce wind resistance and noise disruptions. And then you start noticing details. The panoramic glass hull is the first one that steals your attention. Not windows. An entire section of the hull engineered from ultra-strength, pressure-resistant glass composites. From inside, it feels like living underwater without actually being submerged. From outside, it transforms the yacht into something closer to a moving gallery. During the day, the glass transitions automatically to manage heat and light. At night, it becomes a mirror, blending the yacht into its surroundings and giving the owner near-complete privacy. Above that, you discover the retractable sky decks, one of the defining features of the yacht's exterior identity. These decks lie flush within the structure when not in use, preserving the aerodynamic profile. But with a quiet, fluid motion, they extend outward, creating suspended lounges that float above the waterline. These sky decks aren't just viewing platforms, they're sanctuaries. They expand the usable exterior space without compromising the hull's integrity, giving the owner multiple environments that shift based on mood, weather, or intention. Every curve, vent, and angle has been shaped to create low-pressure zones around exterior lounges and upper decks. That means when you step outside at full cruise speed, you're not fighting wind. You're experiencing stillness. The kind of stillness you'd expect from a private terrace on land, not the open ocean. Lighting also plays a major role. The exterior uses adaptive illumination, designed to shift the yacht's entire visual presence based on time and environment. In bright daylight, the hull looks sharp and defined. At sunset, it softens into warm gradients. At night, the lighting retreats into the structure, allowing the yacht to appear almost invisible to the outside world while illuminating walkways and glass edges from within. Stepping inside this vessel is where everything shifts. The exterior tells you this is a new kind of yacht, but the interior confirms it. Once you cross the threshold, you're no longer on a marine vessel. You're inside a private world, crafted with the same seriousness as a land-based ultra-estate, yet shaped by the freedom that only open water can offer. The transition is almost disorienting in the best way. The moment the doors glide open, the ocean disappears. Not because it's hidden, but because the interior has its own gravitational pull. The space feels sculpted, quiet, confident, and impossibly refined. You feel the change in atmosphere before you see anything at all. The first space you enter is the grand atrium, the core of the entire interior ecosystem. Triple height, open, calm. It's the architectural statement piece that sets the emotional tone of the yacht. Natural light pours in from the overhead skylights, creating layers of illumination that shift as the day progresses. In the center, a suspended staircase anchors the room, a floating ribbon of reinforced glass and titanium that rises with such subtle curvature it feels more like art than structure. Speaking of walls, these aren't ordinary walls. They function as art canvases, using a programmable surface that displays curated digital installations. Not loud animations, not flashy visuals. Think slow evolving textures, minimalist sculpture, or ambient light patterns designed by high-end contemporary artists. It gives the atrium an identity that changes without losing its calm. Guests never enter the same atmosphere twice. Large sculptures sit in recessed pockets, stone, glass, and metal, each chosen to complement the atrium's acoustics, not just aesthetics. The space is deliberately quiet. The sound is absorbed through hidden acoustic panels, creating a serene environment where footsteps and voices feel soft, never echoing. It doesn't feel like the inside of a yacht. It feels like the lobby of an ultra-exclusive private residence built for someone who values understatement more than spectacle. From the atrium, a private elevator takes the owner directly to their personal realm, the owner's deck. This isn't a suite. It's an entire self-contained wing, a sanctuary carved into the upper levels of the vessel. The moment the elevator doors open, you're greeted with a panoramic sweep of ocean, framed by floor-to-ceiling, pressure-resistant glass that curves gently along the exterior. The room doesn't feel like it's facing the ocean. It feels like it's floating inside it. The boundaries disappear. The bed sits on a raised platform facing the horizon. Not centered, slightly offset, because the owner's comfort, not symmetry, dictates the layout. Behind the bed is a sculpted, soft-lit head wall made from a blend of brushed metal and stone. To the right, the entrance to the personal spa wing. This spa isn't a handful of amenities thrown together. It's a dedicated wellness sanctuary with a heated marble relaxation lounge, a steam room designed with ocean minerals, and a temperature-controlled rainfall shower that mimics weather patterns curated by the owner. The space smells faintly of natural oils, not perfume. The lighting is soft, layered, and never intrusive. Every surface feels intentional. No sharp contrasts, no clutter, just quiet, controlled luxury. Above the owner's deck sits one of the yacht's most iconic spaces, the Sky Lounge. This is where the design philosophy becomes almost poetic. The entire dome rotates 360 degrees, slowly, silently, without the viewer ever feeling the movement. At any time, the owner can choose to face the sunrise, the sunset, or the deep, open night sky. The dome is built from a next-generation transparent composite that blocks heat without dimming the clarity of the view. This isn't a lounge for entertainment. It's a lounge for presence. The seating is arranged in a curved, low-profile configuration, upholstered in soft, breathable materials. The lighting adapts to the exterior environment, shifting automatically through warm or cool tones. At night, the dome can dim itself just slightly, enough to enhance stargazing without ever intruding on the natural world outside. It's a room designed not for guests, but for stillness, for thinking, for being. Moving down a level, the yacht opens a wing. Everything centers around one architectural marvel, the underwater viewing gallery. This gallery sits below sea level, wrapped in a thick, pressure-intensive glass shell that curves upward like an underwater observatory. It's not a flashy attraction. It's a calm, contemplative environment designed to bring the ocean's silence into the yacht. Low seating follows the curve of the glass. Soft lighting illuminates the interior without disturbing the natural world outside. Sometimes the waters are empty. Sometimes they're alive with movement. The point isn't entertainment. It's immersion, a rare privilege even for billionaires. The space carries no noise, no hum, no distractions. Just the quiet rhythm of the sea pressing gently against the glass. Now, let's step into the guest suites. Each suite is designed with a distinct future-inspired interior theme. One suite might lean towards minimalist Scandinavian futurism with warm wood accents and curved walls that feel sculpted rather than built. Another may embrace ultramodern Japanese minimalism with stone textures, low seating, and sliding panels that shift space effortlessly. A third could be inspired by biomorphic design, with organic curves, neutral tones, and adaptive light patterns that mimic natural environments. Every suite includes panoramic glass sections for ocean views, climate zones tailored to the guest's preference, and integrated scent and sound atmospheres. Quiet enough to never intrude, refined enough to make every moment feel intentional. The suites aren't about impressing visitors. They're about respecting them, giving each guest a private world that feels complete on its own. Every corner of this interior is crafted around one principle. Luxury isn't loud. It's felt. It's the silence between moments, the softness of well-designed space, and the confidence of knowing you're somewhere built entirely for you. This is where the top 1% only line becomes painfully obvious. Yachts at this level aren't just boats. They're ecosystems of privilege. And every amenity is engineered to remind you that the world bends your way. Let's start with the one feature every ultra-wealthy owner treats as a non-negotiable, the helipad. Not just a standard flat pad slapped on the bow. This one is integrated into the superstructure with a dual-mode design. When inactive, it sits flush, almost invisible, maintaining that clean aerodynamic profile. But when needed, hydraulic arms extend outward, creating a reinforced landing zone capable of handling full-size helicopters, personal air taxis, or even VTOL drones. And that leads straight into the real flex, the drone VTOL bay. This space isn't futuristic. It's what the next tier of owners already expect. When you're operating on a schedule set by no one but yourself, you don't wait for anything. This bay houses autonomous drones for scouting upcoming waters, sending deliveries to and from shore, and performing high-altitude aerial sweeps of remote destinations before you even arrive. There's also space for a personal VTOL craft, your own vertical takeoff aircraft ready for instant point-to-point travel. No runways, no delays, just lift and go. But this yacht doesn't stop at mobility. The moment you step inside, the atmosphere shifts. The interior is built around the idea that comfort should feel inevitable, not optional. Every room, every corridor, every surface whispers the same message. You're living at a level where even luxury starts looking ordinary. Morning sunlight, a single gesture. Midnight stargazing, instant clarity. Want to turn the entire ceiling into a real-time video feed of the drone hovering above the yacht? Also possible. Then there's the owner's sanctuary suite, a fully isolated private wing, not a bedroom. It includes a panoramic sleeping chamber, a spa-level marble wet room, and a dual-access wardrobe corridor designed like a flagship boutique. Everything is climate-balanced, light-adjusted, and pressure-optimized automatically. No switches, no remotes. The yacht just learns you. And for guests? Forget rooms. They get mini residences, floating penthouses with their own terraces, micropools, and privacy modes that can frost every glass panel in seconds. Then comes the piece de resistance, the ocean-level Serenity deck. It sits just inches above the waterline, opening sideways like a shell. When deployed, it becomes the closest thing to having your own floating resort. Heated loungers, retractable misting arcs, and a frameless infinity pool that blends seamlessly into the sea. Even the flooring uses adaptive grip tech, so waves can splash in without anyone ever slipping. There's a bio-optimized human performance studio. It includes AI-guided movement rigs, altitude simulation, hyperbaric recovery pods, and a seawater-fed cryotherapy plunge integrated straight into the hull. No gimmicks, just efficiency and longevity, the way top-tier billionaires approach their bodies. Finally, the yacht hosts a Michelin-standard culinary lab, not a kitchen. 2 sections, a private chef's zone and a guest interaction zone. Surfaces are lab-grade, non-porous composites. Ingredients are monitored by freshness sensors. And a vertical hydroponic tower grows live herbs and greens on board, so every dish is cut, plated, and served at its peak. Everything here is built around one idea. The owner never chases comfort. Comfort rearranges itself around them. This is where the top 1% stops, and the 0.01% begins. And after everything you've seen, the mobility, the power systems, the spaces that feel more like private worlds than rooms, there's one final truth this concept drives home. Yachts at this level aren't just designed to be lived in. They're designed to reflect who the owner has become. Because once you reach the point where the amenities start blending into the architecture and the architecture starts bending around your lifestyle, the yacht stops being a vessel. It becomes a mirror, a statement piece that doesn't shout, it radiates. This isn't about showing off wealth. That face sits far below this level. Here, it's identity, it's self-definition. It's the physical manifestation of, this is the life I've built, and this is the space that understands me. And looking ahead, 2050 isn't that far. The kind of tech we just walked through, it's not fantasy. It's the natural direction of ultra-high net worth engineering. As autonomy, AI architecture, adaptive materials, and zero-emission power systems mature, yachts like this won't be special projects. They'll be private territories. In 2050, this is how the elite redraw the borders of their world. Not with land, not with skyscrapers, but with mobile domains, floating territories that carry their climate, their comfort parameters, their operational intelligence, and their entire sense of belonging with them. The ocean becomes the only frontier big enough. And that's what this concept really represents. A sanctuary you don't visit, one that follows you. An empire that moves. A legacy that stays in motion. But let's keep one thing clear. Everything you've seen here is conceptual, speculative. It's a vision built from the direction current innovation is already heading. It's not on a blueprint, not in production, not tied to any shipyard. It's possibility. It's projection. It's what happens when you take today's breakthroughs and extend them into tomorrow's expectations. And that's the real magic of imagining the future of billionaire-class mobility. Not predicting it perfectly, but seeing the shape of what's coming before it arrives. If this concept pulled you in, there's an even more extreme one waiting. Another glimpse into the future of mobility that goes beyond anything on the water today. Watch that next. And if you want more visions like this, ideas that stretch what luxury, engineering, and wealth could look like, subscribe to Luminera Rides. That's where every next breakthrough lands first.